So the journey with Nakisa started in 2016. And we started implementation, as Dana said, we went then live in 2018. But as we went through the implementation, we redid, so to say, due diligence. So at one point during the implementation, we looked again at the situation in the market, because in the meanwhile, there were new solutions which had been somehow built or had been offered in the market. So we looked at them as well. So we redid, so to say, calibration and overall assessment. But in the end, we decided to stay with Nakisa. So yeah, we went through kind of a full reassessment of the solution, considering functional requirements, or from a business perspective, considering the technical installation, considering security and and compliance, and of course considering all the commercial aspects. And as I said, then we decided to stay with Nakisa. I believe the main driver was really the strong integration with SAP. Which allowed somehow this automated accounting, which allowed somehow to interface data relatively easily. The fact that, as we said, we could manage this non-globe company codes, or company codes which are not implemented in our core system, and the friendliness of the user interface. So the user interface somehow worked well for the end user. It was somehow intuitive to use. So that was another reason which basically convinced us to stay with the solution. Plus the latest version and the new version now on cloud, which somehow follows the strategy of our company in terms of IT. So it somehow simplifies as well the maintenance, upgrade, and connection. So all these elements together, it's what somehow brought us to keep the choice with Nakisa.
We started with Nakisa, as was the solution kind of recommended, and being the one promoted for being connected with SAP. During the 2 years, or almost 2 years of the work together, I think we rebuilt the solution completely from scratch. So I think the solution that we saw in 2016 and that we finally implemented was two totally different solutions, which has been also good, because working with us, Nakisa basically took the courage to almost scrap everything that was there and start all over again, better and yeah, more flexible, compliant. The data volume that was also a problem at the beginning. All those things have been resolved, and we felt at the end that we built the solution together with Nakisa, and it's been partially a Nestlé solution in a way, because we saw a lot of things that we brought into the partnership together. So at the end, we could really say, yes, this solution is compliant with IFRS, based on our experts, plus based on the independent auditors, and it has all the tools that we need to manage the complex Nestlé environment.
So yeah, maybe just to comment as well on the previous one. So I believe, as Dana said, it was a long journey to a scalable solution. I believe we worked a lot with the Nakisa team to really build a solution which would fit the size of a corporation, or like Nestlé, but like many other multinational or corporations. So I believe it was really a quite long journey and a lot of work with the Nakisa team really to build this scalability, which then in the end, I believe, brought to the results and the stability somehow we have today. And that's why we did an upgrade to the latest version from 2021 this year. I believe we ran the upgrade in roughly 3 months, and was in the end, it went pretty smooth. So it was somehow perceived as a non-event by the business, which means that somehow the upgrade was smooth. I had my doubts at the beginning, like because it was the first upgrade we really did on the cloud platform, but actually it worked pretty well. So I believe now we feel that the platform and the solution are pretty stable. So yeah, so I believe we look forward to evolve and somehow to work towards like new features and evolution and in the roadmap together with the Nakisa team.
Yeah, maybe to add to that, we missed a step in the history. In 2020, we moved also from our cloud solution to the Nakisa cloud solution. We've been waiting for it for quite some time to be really sure that that this is the right step, and that has been also quite an effort, an important step. But at the end, went smoother than what we expected. We started to work on it on February 2020, and the final go live was in October 2020, which was mostly driven by the business, because we obviously don't want to do upgrades on the systems when we have quarterly closes, etc. So October for us is kind of the period where we usually touch the finance systems. So that has been a couple of months, and yes, the first step to do the technical connectivity between the two systems, which is not the area where I can talk a lot, but that was the time, that was the part of the project where it took the most amount of time, because to make the two systems talking with all the security and settings that we have on the two sides, obviously it took a lot of people to be involved and a lot of checking and compliance. But once we got there, I have to say it went pretty smooth. We used the Nakisa lift and shift, which worked pretty well. I have to say that we did quite intensive testing. We have our system for testing, where we have around 60 test scenarios that we fulfilled. We also did the volume and stress testing. We identified some issues that have been solved around the way, but at the end, the final lift and shift and the go live was just taking a couple of days and was perfectly on time and without any major hiccups. So at the end, this has been quite a good experience. And one of our major worries, obviously, was if the speed and the volume that we have is not going to be a problem on the connection to the cloud. But at the end, it has not been a problem at all. And our period and closing, which is very strict in terms of hours, minutes, has been not jeopardized.